Hey everyone, how's it going? Josh from Watt Studios. Gonna play another game, Kerbal Space Program. I've played this a lot in the past. I never get really far when I do play, but I can get to the Mun, and I can get to Minimus. Those are guaranteed. Once in a while I've gotten to Duna, but it's a little tricky after that. I'm not entirely sure how I'm gonna record this game, but I will play it a little bit. I'm not sure how far I go with this series. So we'll do launch first vessel and gather data from Kerbin. I do have some mods running on this game. I won't be able to list them. I'll make a list on the description and let you guys know. So we're just gonna go from scratch and do career mode. I did set it to moderate difficulty, not hard but moderate, because I still have a rough time collecting money. I don't know how well, I don't know. It's not that I don't know how the reputation stuff works. It's just I don't really bother with that kind of thing. I don't get into it that much. I just want to build stuff and go places. And I like the sense of accomplishment that you get from doing career mode. So, for the first few of these, I'm obviously going to do it live with you guys. But I will start to kind of do voiceover style builds, because the building portion takes quite a while, as you will see. I know we need to do just a quick little thing. If you guys want to know how to play the game, I can talk through some of this stuff. Like this is all your different tabs with all the different pieces you can use. Like fuel tanks are in this one, engines. Command and control will have the ways you can control your vehicle, either with like SAS, which will stabilize your vehicle, or RCS, which is the little thrusters you see on the space station. That kind of stuff. Structural, self-explanatory. You can have robotic arms and stuff. Coupling you'll see me use on the next launch. This one specifically, I can't use anything like that, but I will just put a couple little fins on it. Hotkeys. If you press C, it will turn it from snapping to smooth. You want to use snap for most of the building. You want to use snap. And I can never get this on the right angle, but when it comes to like making your custom spacecrafts and all that stuff, you'll want to turn that off for certain things for sure. Okay, I'll call this one New Beginnings 7. Who are we gonna have flying this one? Good old Jebediah. Something that we'll get into is staging. Obviously this rocket only has one stage. It's the solid booster we put on the bottom. But in fact we are not even going to... Sorry, I need to move you up a little bit. I can't see the corner of my screen. There you go. There you go. We have contracts, and one of the contracts is just gather some scientific data, which means we don't even need to fly. However, we do have this, so we launch our first vessel off the launch pad. So, actually, we will launch. I just remember in past games I wouldn't do that, I would just collect some data. But yeah, we do have SAS. You press T to toggle it on and off. And then you just hit spacebar. Ooh. Staging. I screwed up here. I'll probably zoom in here on the game. But I put them both in the same stage, so my parachute will deploy as well as my solid booster. We don't want that, so I'm going to put it down to stage 1. So stage 1 will go first, and then it goes to 0. So spacebar launches it, and we are absolutely blasting off. And yeah, you can see the wind coming off of it. You might even see... No, we didn't go fast enough to create flames, but we went real fast. And this is meters per second, so that was really fast. I forget what we got up to, almost 700 meters per second. That's fast. Can I do crew report? Might as well do that while I'm up here. I do have the science mod added. So actually a lot of this is done automatically for me. I might disable it for this early on portion of the game so I don't get too much science off the bat, because it will get everything. You can see it happening up here in the corner. You'll see like on other launches it'll just be like blazing through science, and that can kind of ruin the experience for some people. For me, it kind of takes out some of the struggle. There's a couple times where you just forget to do something. I played this game enough to not get butthurt over that. This didn't achieve recover or transmit. Okay, make sure you read these. And let's just warp up here. I did install a warping mod, but it doesn't look like it installed it correctly, unless I just don't know how to use it. Alright, so we're really picking up speed here. I'm just gonna deploy my parachute and hope that I survive this. I might have to actually relaunch this. I should have deployed it a lot faster. Oh yeah, it tore the chute right off. And kablam. And looked like a glitch. Wow. Alright, so I'm just gonna redo that. We can actually do crew port down here and transmit that data because we're already here, and I can do it again when we're up in the air. Launch it. So we got that. Oh, see. Well, we're not gonna go as. Yeah, see, that's what happened. When I reset it, it reset the staging too. So make sure you do that in the vehicle assembly portion of the game. And look at those textures. Wow. Slow down time again. And boop. Done. So I'll recover that vessel. By recovering it, I'm going to complete that one mission I had. And of course, here's our summary. So this is all the science we gathered. Now we have 15. Recovered all my parts, so I get a decent chunk back. Not much, but decent. And he got 1 experience. Good. So now we can use this building here to unlock all this stuff. Wowzers. So we're going to start down here. I can either go for this, which will have a decoupler, thermometer, an antenna, or 2 types of antenna. Or I can go with more rocketry. So I'm tempted to go with this one because I can actually do more with this. Mostly because of this decoupler. So I'm going to research that. I only have 10 left. I could actually do both. Screw it, let's do both. But with that decoupler, we can do a lot more. Like, firstly, I can take a decoupler. What is going on here? Purchase. I have unlocked it. This is new. Sorry, I've never seen this before. Wow, okay. I guess you have to unlock it after unlocking it. That is strange. Okay, whatever. So, after doing that, I can now unlock more things. She's gonna unlock all this stuff. Good thing I have a good chunk of starting cash. So I can do, so say I want to have a liquid burning stage where I can use an actual engine. I can now add a decoupler and add this first stage that we launched with earlier. Rather than use this tiny one, I'll use the big one, and it'll give us, we'll give our ship a little bit of a kickstart off the launch pad. So it'll start here at the bottom. It'll launch with this, decouple, ignite the next engine, which will have all this fuel, and then when it's spent, we'll decouple this decoupler, and it'll just be this piece right here. And that way this parachute can tolerate the weight a little bit better. One of our unlocks did give us this. I didn't realize we got that by default, the mystery goo container, so I'll add that. And because I have the mod, the science mod, I only need to add one of these because it will actually reset the experiment and catch a bunch of science in one go, which is good for progression. So get this. We don't really need it. Another little tip: if you hold shift, so like WASD does all the movements and Q. So I don't want it pointing out like this. So there's a couple ways you can do it. You can select the rotate tool and just do this. Hitting C will make it smooth. Or you can do it while you're placing. Which, depending on how fast you are at placing, up to you. So like I'll throw it like right here, and I'll extend it really quick just to see what it looks like. And this is actually where I start to use the tool, so not really happy with that. So I'm just gonna come over here and straighten her up a little bit. Use the move tool, make sure it's on local, and I'm gonna just push it down a little bit so it's not like sticking out on the bottom. Oh, look at that. Welcome to the world of 3D. Let's go back to absolute so we make sure we're just turning on that one axis. Straighten it out. You definitely do not need to do this. I like to be aesthetic with my my choices. Actually, reinstalled that tweak mod. This isn't usually here in vanilla, but it allows you to scale up, but it's still broken, obviously. They said they updated it. I guess not. Anyway, this is New Beginnings 2.0. That is saved. Double check my staging. So launch, couple, liquid. Okay. Go ahead and launch. Here we are on the runway. With all the fantastic glitches that we can see here. Z and X, you can see our throttles toggling. We don't need it right now, obviously, because we're using a solid booster, which is an expendable booster that you can't control. Once it's on, and it goes until it's empty. Come on, pitch over. Empty. However, when you have a liquid engine, our next stage, you can toggle or change the throttle amount. So you can use shift to go up, control to go down, or Z and X, which will put it all the way on or all the way off. So it's good for when you're like in a tight situation and you need to turn it off immediately. Hit X. So I'm going to turn it up all the way just so when we get to that stage I can just immediately have it firing. So here we go, launching, and because of staging we don't have our stupid parachute going off the bat. Just keep an eye on our fuel. You can keep an eye on it up here. It'll update when you change stage. Go on really fast again. Not quite as fast as before because we have all this new mass on here. And we're expended, so now we hit space. Bam! We launched, and space again to activate the engine. I'm actually going to tip over here so we can get a bit of an arc going. Definitely not necessary at this stage in the game, but I'm gonna go full over. Holy moly, we are going fast. Hit M, and that'll show you the planet, and it'll show you your trajectory, and that's what we got. So we actually did a pretty good job. It's still a suborbital trajectory, but damn, that little rocket went quite a ways. We are losing speed quickly because we are brushing against the atmosphere here, even though we're this high up. So how much science have we gathered? 5 so far. So I'll let that continue gathering science. We don't need this stage anymore, so I'm gonna hit space again and lose that stage. Goodbye, stage. Now, what we should have right now is a heat shield, because we are in the upper atmosphere. We're almost out of the atmosphere, so we're gonna come back down through the atmosphere. We're gonna get all this plasma build up, and we don't have a heat shield, so that might be a problem. We might lose our science experiments here and here. I don't believe it'll be enough to blow up our little pod here, but we might lose our goo experiment. So let's speed up here. It is going to be a ocean landing. Now we're coming down through the thicker atmosphere. We actually weren't going fast enough to build up all that plasma, thankfully, so we do get to keep all this. So I usually wait till I'm about 1 tick to 1.5 to 1 even sometimes before deploying the chute, because it does take forever to finally land. Deploy. You can see our shadow there. We got lots of room left. Let it catch that air. And there we go. Finally deploys. Now it looked like that was close, but we still got a ways to go, so let's speed right back up again. And just a tip, remember to slow down this time. It is warped time, it does mess with physics. I've lost a bunch of Kerbals and rockets many a time by forgetting to turn down that speed, because it does amplify things a little bit. I'm not an expert on the whole physics part of it, but it's happened. So just be careful of that. But bam, look at all that science we got. I didn't have to click a thing. What was the biggest one? 6.5? And that was a temperature scan from the upper atmosphere. Interesting. Interestingly enough, no mystery goo was collected. Not sure what that's about, but I have a feeling it's something to do with maybe the crew not being, like, having enough experience. Maybe, I don't know. And didn't gain any experience from that, oddly enough. Oh well. But we did get a ton of science, so we're going to push through. So I'm going to get that survivability update. Not update, unlockable. And I'll give us some heat shields. It'll give us another piece of science equipment. Some legs. A radiator panel. I don't really use these ever. I haven't found a need to. Maybe if you have like a processor on your ship, later in the game you can get into ore processing to make fuel for your ship, and if you bring up the ore from a planetary body to your ship to then convert it, maybe you'll then need it, but there are better options than these, so I feel like most of the time these are an aesthetic choice. And then we got some parachutes and a service bay. General rocketry. Which is this? 20 and 18. I think I'll get this because again it's got a decoupler and that allows more opportunity than just a bigger solid booster would do. So I'm gonna grab that, grab the parts. Now we have a big chunk of cash. And don't need to open that. Right clicking, 75. 300. Oof, Jesus. Okay, so I'm gonna upgrade this. About half my money. Just so we can get a couple more missions. Haul it. Okay. Don't know if that means having it not activated. I hate all these because it's such a specific spot you gotta be in. I'll grab these just to have them. And I'll work my way through them. Down here you can see all these, so you can kind of get an idea of what you got to do. So we've got to have an MK16 parachute, which we already have. That will get triggered automatically. Did see another haul, so we got a haul of swivel, which I'm pretty sure is, yep, this, we already got one on there, so. Okay, so we don't want a booster. We want to be able to control this speed, so let's get rid of our solid booster. We don't have fancy big engines yet. What I just did there, you hold Alt and you can copy, and it's a chain of commands. So if I copied this one, you just take one. If you go up the chain, you get the whole stack. We need a nice big stack. Gonna throw in an engine. Do I have... Okay, I don't have launch towers yet, so I gotta be a little bit careful how I put this together. Okay, I guess that's all we're gonna get away with, I guess. We'll call that 2.1. Save launcher. Let's see how well this does. Now, because this isn't a solid booster on the bottom, we can control how fast we're going. So we got some things up here. This doesn't matter. We can try to hit this one. It'll be pretty easy to hit that one, honestly. So we'll see about that. I'm not sure if the mass to thrust ratio will get this up that easily. Hauling this one's going to be easy. Ish. Let's see what happens. So I'm gonna go full thrust, hit Z to go full, and space. So solid boosters are way more powerful than liquid fuel, but that's a trade-off. You get really powerful, no variability, or you have variability and lack of power. You can get more powerful liquid engines, obviously, but this is what we're gonna use. We're gonna go up, up, up. I'm gonna keep an eye on these things here to see what we can do. And we in target velocity, so I'm gonna hold down. I'm gonna bring down my thrust so that we're not going too fast. We don't want to go above 500. I'm gonna bring that down even more, so it stops accelerating. Go. There, we hit 15,000, we were at the right speed. So I'm gonna hold this speed so we can save some fuel, and I'm gonna see if I can hit 60,000. Okay, we're about out of fuel here, and we're nowhere near, but let's speed up, see if we can get close to 60,000. And if we hit 60,000, I can quickly stage separate. We are going to hit 60. Bam, there you go. Decoupler tested. And I guess since we're up here, I can go ahead and start to accelerate sideways to attempt an orbital insertion. There's not a lot of fuel, and you can see it dropping down real quick down here. We are not going to hit this. Not even remotely close. Oh well, tried. Okay, decouple. I noticed we didn't do any mystery goo last time, so I'm going to go ahead and just use it because I want to get that. Now we can't use this again because you can only use it once. We've only got one piece of data in there, probably because we've already gotten everything we can from this altitude. Yeah, we've already got that. The only thing maybe is doing a crew report when we're down in the water. So I'll cut to when we're down in the water. Splash. Alright, didn't see any science trigger either, so let's recycle that. Already got the crew report. Let's see if we can go EVA. I forget what EVA stands for. It's external something or something. It basically means step outside your ship. So we're gonna do that. I'm pretty sure we can only do it now because we're on Kerbin. In career mode, you won't be able to do that while in flight or in space until your astronauts are upgraded enough. But since we're out here, we can do an EVA report. Good little tiny bit of science, and that's all we can do. So we're gonna press B to reboard. You probably won't get this because I'm using the science mod, and again, it probably got all of that already. So it's telling me to dump it because it's duplicates. So I'll just do that and recover. Well, bam. Okay, not a lot of science this time around. That was more of a test of how the liquid fuel does. We got a little chunk of funds back. Not quite enough to do what we want. We can upgrade the pad, so the pad can now hold a 36 tall. Or is that 36 wide? 39.6 meter tall and 140 tons. So that rocket we had made earlier, that will fit no problem now. This one, on the other hand, can only support 30. So we're a little stuck there still. We do have 30 science, so I can upgrade and get one of these boosters, massive solid fuel, and a little bit of a bigger tank, so we don't have to use all those tiny ones. Alright, we're back in here. Let's see what we got. We got these massive boosters. It's a really good and easy way to add thrust to weight for early in your launches. That's why you'll see in launches all the time, like on the side of like the space shuttles, had those two side boosters. There was a lot of power to get it off the pad and up high. So when it detached, it was high enough it didn't have to deal with all the atmosphere, and the thrusters on the actual shuttle was enough to push it further. We're still really early in the game to be able to use something like this, honestly. I can maybe... You know what, screw it. Let's give it a go. Let's attach to the side here. And let's not make the mistake we made last time. Going through puberty. What's our lifting surface? 37, 12, 12. So this one's the best by a mile. Do that. Add a little nosy cone. Bam. Okay, we've gone over in parts though. So the best I can do, I can get rid of that. And let's get rid of a single fuel tank. So we're in the green again. But when we add this, we're adding 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll be 4 parts over. So I guess I'm going to have to get rid of a couple more things. 30 out of 30, look at that. So this is going to be a lot of power, so we're going to be relying a lot on this little guy to steer the vehicle, because these guys have no gimbal, and this guy has, I don't know what the gimbal range is on this guy, of 3 degrees, so not a lot. So we'll see how that goes. We still really haven't gotten too far, but we've got a pretty good stretch on this upgrade, so that's a 2.5 now, I guess. Let's go ahead with another launch. There we go. Turn on our SAS and let's throw up. Let's do a 30% power just to have the control. Alright, here we go. Let's see how fast this will go. Going wicked fast, and these are big boosters, so there's a lot left in the tank, and we're already going 150 meters per second. I'm going to start the gravity turn. Oh god, we're already going off track. Going off track. Oh boy. So I am fully stopping this vehicle from going sideways. I don't know why it's trying to go this way. I'm trying to get it to go this way. Come on, pitch over. Oh my god. Okay. I'm gonna cut all engines so it stops moving. Detach. I'm gonna slowly throttle this back up now that we have a bit of finer control. I'm gonna tip this over. What do we have? Okay, well we're definitely getting this one because we're already almost escaping the atmosphere. So I'm just gonna pitch over. Realign ourselves. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna throttle right up. We have tons of fuel left, so we are definitely escaping atmosphere, and we're probably a shoo-in for orbit. Okay, we're already experiencing the lack of having auto strut. You can see how it's really hard to control it because it's wiggling all over the place. Having auto strut essentially removes that completely. So we're now flying sideways. Going to attempt orbit. Still haven't hit the atmosphere. We have to go above 70, okay. Well, yeah, we're definitely gonna hit 70. Well, we've escaped the atmosphere. And that looks pretty easy. So I'm going to drop the throttle down. Activate the engine. Just going to keep an eye on this. And angle our nose down because our, I think it's called apoapsis. I don't have any of this readout information in front of me right now. Why do I not? Maybe it's because the astronaut's not experienced enough? I don't know. Oh, look at that. I'm going to angle down a little bit more because we don't want to up our orbit any more than we want to. I want to be able to get back down to Kerbin. There we go. We have orbit. We are now orbiting. Got some data in here. We got a temperature scan and a crew report. Still no mystery GUI being used. I wish it wouldn't use up the thing without letting me know. 9 science out of that though. Not too bad. So EVA is not possible for us right now because our astronaut is not experienced enough. So that would have been a real good chunk of science right there. So I'm going to speed up time. I'm going to attempt to land semi-close to Kerbin. Coming in about a 45 degree. And this marker down here, that's prograde. That's going toward or going faster in orbit terms. And the one with the X is going to cancel out our velocity. And that's called retrograde. So I'm going to throttle up. I'm going to stop a little bit ahead. And I'm going to use the remaining fuel I have to kind of control my descent and see how close I can get myself to land near Kerbin. I'm going to speed up a bit. Just going to watch my angle of approach. So we go here. We're going to see flames start to happen as we get closer to atmosphere. I'm going to slow down. I'm going to kick our speed down a little bit more. Okay, I don't think I'm going to be anywhere near Kerbin actually. I think I overshot it a bit. I'm going to keep a little bit of fuel in there. We're going to start hitting atmosphere any second now. Oh wow, we are not hitting Kerbin. I'm just going to use the whole thing up. Yeah, whatever. I tried. Get rid of that stage so we can fly freely. To change your camera follow setting, hit V. So you probably want to do chase cam. If you hit C, you can actually go into the perspective of your Kerbal. You can see all the flames coming in. You can see the readouts of altitude, your speed, vertical speed. Hit C again to leave. And these little dials right here, or what do you call these bars, are the temperature readouts. If that hits full, it's going to explode. That being the mystery goo and the temperature. We might be okay. Yeah. Our speed is dropping really fast, so that flame will soon turn to air. Very good. Bam. Covered vessel. Alrighty. Tiny bit of science earned. We got a big chunk of that from orbit. Recovered a vessel from orbit first time. Interesting. Good chunk of science right there. Oh yeah, look at those funds. We can now upgrade our VAB building, or vehicle assembly building. Bam. So now we can make bigger rockets. Up to 255 parts. Basic action groups available. I'll walk you through that next episode. So this is actually a good time to stop. Thanks for watching. I don't know how interesting this is for everyone. I'm pretty monotone as a person. I don't know if that's going to come with time or not. Me being a little bit more enthusiastic or something. I don't know. But thanks for watching. Hope you learned something. And got a nice little sunset for the end of this video. Alright, catch you guys next time. See ya.